welcome to episode 3 of the Naughty Bits podcast. Look, there's Joe over there.
There's lovely Ed over there.
Ah, yes. So what's it all about, this Naughty Bits podcast then, Joe?
Oh, it's all about stuff we couldn't talk about on the radio because when Ed and I used to work on the radio together. So it's close to the mark, but we don't swear. There's no point in swearing.
No,
it's not
no.
big and it's not clever.
It's not. We don't need to swear.
No, with lots of different ways we can tell and express ourselves and our stories without swearing.
Now, we were just telling producer Ollie, who's a lot younger than us,
Oh, very young.
about a TV programme we used to watch when we were kids. Well, actually, Joe was about 30 at the time when I was a kid.
It's so rude, but I love him still.
But it was called All Creatures Great and Small.
Yeah, and the music went like this. I can't remember the start.
It used to build, and then it would build, and then it would really go into crescendo, and that was the bit you were just doing, wasn't
Yeah, and it goes, and so it was based in Yorkshire, and there was 2 vets or 3 vets, and the Carol Drinkwater from the Oxo advert was the main woman in it, looking young.
Oh, yeah, and James Herriot was played by a guy who's now in EastEnders.
Really? Is James Herriot in EastEnders?
Yeah, he is, and Siegfried.
No way.
Siegfried's not in EastEnders, but Siegfried was one of the main characters, wasn't he?
No way. I used to love him.
Yeah, it was a great programme, wasn't it? It was all about vets. Was it in the 1930s, around about there?
And they used to say, oh, Mr. Herriot. And they had one of those old-fashioned phones where you put the one earpiece and speak through another. They used to go, Darrington 3592, Mr. Herriot speaking.
Oh, one of the cows has had a fall.
And I can't believe it, but they used to put their hand right up a cow's bum, in the hole of its bum. How do you get your arm up there? But Ed, you've done that.
I've done it. It's quite easy, actually.
So does, like a woman, does it dilate when it's about to give birth?
Interesting. Okay.
Is that how? Because how on earth would you get your whole arm up someone's bumhole?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Because I was only about 12 when this happened, so I don't really remember the ins and outs of it, so to speak.
Well, I'm sure you do. Was it warm up there?
It was so warm.
Why did you do it?
Well, because I used to live on a farm. My dad was a farmer, basically, and so he wanted me to experience something new.
Oh, my God.
So when this cow was about to give birth to a calf, he used to have to put his arm right up it to check if it was all right. And I was like, what can you feel, Dad? And he was like, well, why don't you have a go yourself?
Oh, my God. Your arm was covered in poo.
Well, it was, because it did a poo while my arm was up there.
Oh!
So
when your wife gave birth the first time, did you think, oh, I've seen all this before. It's like the calf again.
Get out of the way, midwives. I know what I'm doing here.
Let me roll my sleeves up.
That's right. Don't worry. Let me just wash my arms. Tip my top off. Put my hand up.
No, Ed, no, stop.
So something you should probably know about Joe and I, and Joe in particular, is Joe loves watching TV.
Oh, I love it. And I don't always understand it, so I have to text Ed when we're watching the same programmes and say, what's actually happening here? Like that police programme we like.
Yeah, I turn my phone off. It's the only way.
In the Line of Duty, we're on the edge when we watch that, aren't we?
Yes, I'm very much on the edge, mainly because I'm getting texts from Joe all the time going, who's that guy? What's Hastings all about?
Yeah, and that boy on the bike, is he the baddie?
Ridiculous. Tell you. But one thing you particularly like, I mean, you love Line of Duty, you love Peaky Blinders.
I love Peaky Blinders.
But I think above all else, you love Poldark, don't you?
Well, I used to, Ed, because it's come back and we're a couple of series is in now, and I cannot stand it. There's no nudity, there's no cheeky little pert bottom to look at. Normally, he's in the bath and you get a good view of him, and he also does that James Bond scene where he comes out the sea in Cornwall in his breeches, and you see his top half and he's looking manly and a little bit hairy, and you've seen him also cutting the corn in just nothing.
He hasn't got his scythe out yet.
He has not got his scythe out. You've not seen any hoochie snoochie, Huna Matadari, anything like that.
What is going on?
So I'm not going to watch it anymore. It's boring. It's really boring. All you see is him galloping like this across the moor and then back across the moor, more galloping. I'm like, get off your horse and get snoochy. I am not watching this anymore. He's had his hair cut because at the same time as filming Poldark, he was in something in London, a serious play, darling sweetie. Yeah. And so he had to have his hair cut. What? what? It's like Samson when he had his hair cut. You don't fancy him anymore. So he hasn't got, because I always imagine he would smell like an Alsatian if you lifted his hair up.
That's your thing, isn't it? You love a man to smell like an Alsatian.
Oh, I do. The dirtier, the better. Sure. I like the smell of a fireman after he's been in a fire with his big hose. I'd like to smell him then.
Right, sure.
I like dirty smells. I like my bed to smell like a dog basket.
Beautiful.
I like things like that. That gets me giggly hoony when I hear a bad smell.
So what you're saying is Poldark is now too clean?
Oh, it's too clean, far too clean. And that Desdemelda, I mean, she's absolutely beautiful. And she used to be always ripping her clothes off and going, oh, Russ. And when anything goes wrong, she always goes, oh, Judas. And so my husband always knows it's Poldark season. If I drop anything on the floor, I go, Judas, like she does. And I call Paul, Russ Poldark, like that all the time. I'm not interested.
Sounds like Poldark has grown up, but you maybe haven't.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore. So the great thing is Peaky Blinders is starting really soon.
Yeah.
And we always get a shot of Cillian Murphy in the buff. I mean, last season, it started with him completely naked, looking out the window, smoking a fag. And you just saw the whole contour of his body, his bum. And oh my God, it was great. But I thought he's probably standing on a box because he's very short.
He is. He's about 5'7", isn't he?
He wouldn't reach the windowsill.
No. And he's probably about 9 stone wringing wet as well, isn't he?
He probably has to come through the cat flap to get into his house. He's that small.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So actually in real life, he'd be quite disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, it's the character he plays, sure. Tommy Shelby, amazing. But if you met him in real life, I think he'd be a bit wet.
Well, talking Peaky Blinders, I mean, your husband, he knows you love Peaky Blinders, so he did something quite special for you, Peaky Blinders related.
He had got lovely, curly, fluffy hair, which I loved, and I loved to put my hand through it and sniff him. But he went off to this hairdresser's called Tommy Shelby's to have his hair cut like a Peaky Blinder. And now he looks like he's ill, like death, because he's really thin. He's got this Peaky Blinder haircut. And I'm like, oh my God, he's dying. How do I put the bins out? And what's the code for the safe? That's what I want to know.
And he doesn't smell like an Alsatian anymore, does he?
No, so that was it for me. I couldn't do it.
And I think my favourite thing is he looks even younger than you than he did already.
I know. I already look like his bouncer. And now I look like his bouncer around his great aunt.
You've come with your mother, Paul. That's nice. So thank you again, though, if you have sent us a story, a naughty story, which you never know, we might use on our podcast in the future.
I know. We are absolutely howling at these stories. They are so, so funny. Thank you so much. And you never know, I've been told by producer Ollie that we might be able to get you on the podcast, but I don't know how. Maybe down one of these wires?
I can't get my breath to it, Joe.
I can't work it out.
It's just blowing my mind now.
I don't know how that will happen, but looking forward to speaking to you.
Yeah, however that's going to work. I mean, but however Ollie's going to do it, I don't know.
We don't know. We're just a couple of buffoons.
Yeah, we just talk. But you'll be on with us on the podcast in the future. And if you want to send us a story, it could be about you or someone you know, someone in your family. We want to hear it. So you just tell us all about it. You can find us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search @NaughtyBitsPod.
Oh, brilliant.
So, Joe, you know how I like to save money.
Yeah.
Especially at the moment because we haven't got jobs.
That's right, we're skint.
It is always very useful. I think I've invented the ultimate money saver. I am so proud of myself about this.
Wow, I want to hear about this. I need to learn from the great one.
So what was happening, when we got into sort of May time, a hole developed in my shoe. Remember me telling me?
Yeah, you came in and I remember you saying to your wife, well, I haven't been spending any money. I'm walking around with these shoes that are wet and my feet are wet, my socks are wet. Great big hole in your shoes.
And I thought, well, actually, we've got into May now. It'll be fine because the summer's coming, so it'll be dry.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I've got a hole in my shoe. I'll get through the summer, and then maybe by September, October time, I might have a job. I haven't. But maybe I would have a job, and I'll be able to afford to buy some new shoes.
Yeah, because you were walking around in flip-flops.
I was. So I can't wear flip-flops. I've got to wear these shoes, but actually it's been quite a wet summer so far.
Yeah.
So I've had a wet foot for ages, until now.
Oh, I can't wait.
So what I've come up with is it's not only a way to stop me from getting a wet foot, but also I'm saving the world.
Wow, you are amazing.
You know the big thing about taking plastic out of the oceans and stuff like that? I found a way to use a plastic bag in another way so that it doesn't have to go in the bin.
Oh my God, Ed, you're a genius.
I'm a little bit nervous about telling you about this because I haven't patented it yet.
And we might copy.
Yeah, you might copy. You should copy because it's a brilliant idea. Let me just get what my invention is.
Okay.
Here it is.
It's a carrier bag.
It's a Sainsbury's plastic bag.
Yeah.
10p plastic bag.
Yeah.
You know how I've got a hole in my
shoe.
So what I do is, it's my left shoe. I just take my left shoe off.
Oh, God, Ed. I hope he takes his trousers off as well.
There's no need to take my trousers
You don't need to turn that bag into a pair of pants.
You can see the hole.
Oh, my God, the hole is even bigger. It's like a massive smiley face with 2 eyes.
Yeah, well, you don't need to worry about that anymore. So you just get the bag and you put it over your foot.
How attractive.
So I've just put the bag over my foot now. And then if I put it back
In there.
in the shoe, I think you'll agree.
You look absolutely stunning, Ed.
No.
You look. Have you read the David Walliams book, Mr. Stink? Because you look like him. You look
Now,
like Mr. Stink.
I think you'll agree you cannot see the orange plastic bag from the Sainsbury's carrier. At all.
But you look like my ankles. You look like you've got elephantitis, like me.
You can see it.
Now,
you
see it.
you can see it a little bit, but what you could do is once you've got it on, you could trim the excess off round with a pair of scissors, and I think you'd agree then it would be completely covert.
Oh, Ed, come here. You look lovely with your bag on your foot.
Now you can hear me coming because I'm rustling. So that is a slight issue. Also, I've noticed that actually condensation inside the bag is a problem.
Oh, no, you've got that webbed foot thing when you take it out.
Yeah, you end up with a bag of sweat.
Oh!
You've not invented anything.
I suppose
He
I've
has.
just put a plastic bag on my foot, really.
Yeah.
But if I can patent that, I think you'll see me on Dragon's Den in the future.
I think we will. Honestly, Ed, that's a great invention. A great look.
I don't know. Deborah Meaden, she's still on there, isn't she? She'll totally buy into this. The £1 million for 20%, she'll be there.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Right.
So the thing is, you could have an Asda bag on the other foot. So, because apparently wearing odd socks is trendy now.
Right, okay. Well, the thing is, if it's a good quality plastic bag, I'm not worried what brand it is.
Okay.
I don't discriminate. It's absolutely fine. I'll have them all. And I could go around people's houses and collect them all and repurpose them into socks.
And also, in the winter, what you could do is take the plastic bag out of your shoe and put it over the top of your shoe, and it acts as a welly boot.
Let's not be ridiculous now, Joe. This is a sensible idea.
That carrier bag on your foot, your shoe, just because you've got a hole in your shoe and we're skint and you can't afford new shoes. Are you now going to use that to do your shopping with?
Yeah, what would be the problem?
Because I know you'll go and get some loose veg off the market and then stick it in there where your dirty foot's been. Oh,
Just smelling my bag.
No.
Smell my bag, Joe.
Ed, you need to wash.
Need to wash my bag.
That's disgusting.
Did you know producer Ollie has got big plans for this
Has
podcast?
he?
Big plans, which is weird because he knows us. So
yeah,
that's
I
quite
don't know
strange.
why he's involved us in it.
I know he's already thinking that maybe we could do a live version of this
I'd love
podcast,
to do that.
like a live show.
So we'd actually see people.
Yeah, well, I've got the stats back for how many people are listening to this podcast.
And how many?
4 people.
Oh, wow.
And I
Maybe
think
we could come to someone's living room and do it.
3 of them are us. One's probably your mum.
My mum, because she loves Ed.
And your husband and my wife aren't listening, so that's
No,
good news.
they've
isn't it?
had enough of us.
So they're all coming, and we could sell tickets and stuff, couldn't we?
Yeah, but where should we do it?
That's a good question.
Where can we do this? So if you're listening and you're thinking, oh my God, that would be really funny if Joe and Ed came and did this live. Maybe you own a venue. Maybe you own a butcher's and you want us to sit out the back and do it live at a butcher's. The dentist. I know there's a dentist called Pure in Bridgnorth that listen to us. Maybe we could do it there live.
Maybe the number of people that are listening, we could do it in a telephone box.
Yes,
That'll be
exactly. Yeah.
good. Okay, well, get in touch if you know somewhere. That'd be great. You can get in touch by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @NaughtyBitsPod. Well, I think that went pretty well, Joe.
Oh, I'm loving being back with you, just talking nonsense.
Yeah, the end of episode 3 is done and dusted. It's boxed off, mate.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you what we've learnt from today, how to save money, because you might be as skint as us. You might be unemployed as well. So if you get a hole in your shoe, all you need is a carrier bag.
Do you remember our boss saying to us when we were leaving the radio? He said, don't joke about being unemployed because some people actually are losing their jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, mate, like us. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So if you've got any money-saving tips, I mean, do get in touch. We'd love to hear them, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we really would love to hear from you.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Find us that way at Naughty Bits Pod. We're on YouTube as well,
We
Jo.
are, and it's called Brain Dead Podcast, named after us, I think. So all you need to do is go on YouTube and find that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely subscribe to YouTube. And we'll see you next week. So bye.
Bye.